Good Monday, Cup of Sales Joe. Today I want to talk to you about finding your groove, finding flow, getting the best work out of yourself. I will tell you that when I need to find my groove, I have a repository of music, I guess you could call it my secret stash, that I go to when I really need to put myself in a good place. Scratch that, a great place. Any of the messages that you've heard already from me that use a single song as the inspiration is probably one of those songs from my stash. Today, I'm bringing you another one of those. It may not be your cup of tea, but for me, no matter what I'm doing, it puts me in a great place. It helps me to find my groove. But let's also talk about the difference between a groove and a rut. Put simply, a groove is of your own design. It's a good thing. It's when you're able to, with very little effort, get done what you want to get done. It may even seem repetitive, but it's in a good way. It's when your mindset and you're physically producing the work that you need, well, they align. A rut, on the other hand, is not necessarily self-imposed. It's when we allow others and other influences to take over our mindset and our productivity and our focus. It creates less empowered feelings. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a rut? Chances are it was lack of attention to your own mindset and your own focus that allowed you to get to that place. I know. The urgent demands sometimes placed on us require us to work on things that may or may not be what we want to work on. Those times are common, but they cannot become your usual. That's when we all find ourselves stuck in a rut. How do we turn a rut into a groove? As you can see, just defining these two things can tell you the difference in what needs to happen to go from being in a rut to finding your groove. It's intention and attention. Attention to our mindset and intentionality about what we want to accomplish. It's feeling like we have what is typically known as personal agency in our work. It's a level of control that we feel we have. But everyone is different. Everyone finds flow and a groove in different ways. As you can tell from me, one of my methods is music. This particular song can always pull me out of a rut and help me to find my groove. You know, you hear a lot of advice about how to find flow, but one common factor in almost all of those is activity. Even if you're not feeling inspired or in your groove, do something good. I recently heard someone say that they can find their groove in about 5 minutes. They get rid of all distractions and all other things and focus and dive into what they want to get done. There's no thinking, no second thought, no questioning. How do I feel? Just dive in. I know I've felt this before when it comes to some bigger projects where there are many pieces and I don't feel prepared to take it on. That approach avoidance is something that limits us. It's the thinking about the intensity of the project, not the actual intensity, that keeps us from getting started or into our groove quickly. So when you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, put all other focus out the window and just get down to one thing that you know you need or want to do. Inevitably, you'll find some small level of momentum in that. It's the idea that instead of trying to take on starting a new workout program at the gym, simply getting your gym clothes on and going to the gym is a start. Most times, you'll put a couple minutes in, and once you do that, you'll find yourself doing more. But it's that bar that we set of expectation that we need to lower to the point where any activity can happen and get us going. The other factor that I think is important for us to find our groove is time. Time for us to feel free mentally to find our groove. In fact, I don't believe you can turn a rut into a groove. You first need time to get out of that rut, and that's where we get stuck. That means we need time. Time to let go of whatever's distracting you or keeping you busy. This may sound strange, but I've heard many great writers say that one of the keys to creativity is boredom. When you have nothing else to do, or at least nothing else that you're focusing on, that's when you can find both inspiration and the mental bandwidth to find your groove. But how we work most days? That's nearly impossible. When we continue to flit from activity to activity, that's simply busy work. Real inspiration in our best work comes from removing all other things from our mental radar. And I think that sometimes, I know where I get caught up, is trying to go from deep busy work, scratch that, just busy work, and distracted thinking, to focused thinking without giving my mind or my energy time to reset. That's what they call attention residue, when we switch tasks without time to reset our minds. There's no better way to reset or clear your mind than getting to the point of boredom. I'll give you an example. As a writer myself, I use a notepad, my planner, or even my phone when I have free time on my hands to just noodle. It could be in a doctor's office, waiting for a flight, or wherever I cannot focus on anything else, but simply have time on my hands. I also call this mental white space, which I've talked about before, and we need to build into our work. Some great things can come from that freed mental state. And in some cases, with extended time on my hands and nothing to do, I can really find my groove. So, how do you find your groove? Do you have a way to reset your mental state regularly and give yourself the mental freedom and time to reset, to find your groove and produce your best work? Please share how you do that with me. You can email me, and I'll share it with listeners. Because I believe we're all capable of great things. Sometimes we just need to clear the decks and give ourselves the opportunity to do that work. Have a great week.